dirty, bad mind, dirty, dirty bad mind, dirty, dirty, bad mind. Them just a lava lava and pale for me. I don't give up, don't give up. Them just a run off the mouth and sit down for me business. I don't give up, don't give up. Take your dirty mind off of me. Take your dirty mind off of me. The more them talk, the more them chat, the more Jah bless me. Take your dirty mind off of me. Take your dirty mind off of me. Cause the more them talk and the more them chat, Jah bless me. Bad mind can't stress me. Them don't impress me. Them a run off them mouth and talk like the informer of the century. Pure hate and envy and pretend to be friendly. Them will smile in your face and stab you in the back, so dangerous and deadly. Them bad mind and stupid, I don't know why they do it. Got them nose up in my business, on my name like freaking snitches. Them feisty and nosy and always telling stories, but them don't really know me, so just love me. Them just a lava lava and pale for me. I don't give up, don't give up. Them just a run off the mouth and sit down for me business. I don't give up, don't give up. Take your dirty mind off of me. Take your dirty mind off of me. The more them talk, the more them chat, the more Jah bless me. Take your dirty mind off of me. Take your dirty mind off of me. Cause the more them talk and the more them chat, Jah bless me. Shut your mouth and stop talk. You all have a mouth sharp. Always got something to say because you're malicious to blood. Them all dirty heathen will hate on you for no reason. Them around them mouth just for clout and come off like a big time freak then. Them bad mind and stupid, I don't know why they do it. Got them nose up in my business, on my name like freaking snitches. Them feisty and nosy and always telling stories, but them don't really know me, so just love me. Them just a lava lava and pale for me. I don't give up, don't give up. Them just a run off the mouth and sit down for me business. I don't give up, don't give up. Take your dirty mind off of me. Take your dirty mind off of me. The more them talk, the more them chat, the more Jah bless me. Take your dirty mind off of me. Take your dirty mind off of me. Cause the more them talk and the more them chat, Jah bless me. I just jam.
On your belly. Ready now, ready now. Yeah, 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 yeah. Hear me now. I never bad mind nobody yet. I never fight down nobody now. I never try stop nobody breath. That is not in my nature, no, no, no. I never see people with them things and vex them of it. Especially when they work hard for it. But it have some people, soon as they walk through your door, they put a stumbling block in your road, your road, your road. Your road, your road, your road. They practice evil, they think we don't know. And some of them close, they close, they close. They're close to you. I'm telling you, enemies from the borderline. We're not blind, we don't stop them long, long time. Yes, enemies from the borderline. Enemies from the borderline. So remove yourself. We don't want a friend from them. We don't want to drink from them. We don't want to drink from them, from them, from them. So remove yourself. We don't want a friend from them. We don't want to drink from them. We don't want to drink from them, from them, from them. I'm telling you, time for making moves. I don't carry feelings, that is too much of a heavy load. I never sell out my friends, that's not something I don't practice. Too many actors and actresses, yeah. But it have some people, soon as they walk through your door, they put that stumbling block in your road, your road, your road. Your road, your road, your road. They practice evil, they think we don't know. And some of them close, they close, they close. They close to you. I'm telling you, enemies from the borderline. We not blind, we don't fuck them long, long time. Yes, enemies from the borderline. Enemies from the borderline. So remove yourself. We don't want a friend from them. We don't want to drink from them. We don't want to drink from them, from them, from them. So remove yourself. We don't want a friend from them. We don't want to drink from them. We don't want to drink from them, from them, from them. I'm telling you, I never bad mind nobody yet. I never fight down nobody now. I never try stop nobody breath. That is not in my nature, no, no, no. I never see people with them things and vex them of it, especially when they work hard for it. But it have some people, soon as they walk through your door, they put that stumbling block in your road, your road, your road. Your road, your road, your road. They practice evil, they think we don't know. And some of them close, they close, they close. They close to you. I'm telling you, enemies from the borderline. We not blind, we don't stop them long, long time. Yes, enemies from the borderline. Enemies from the borderline. So remove yourself. We don't want a friend from them. We don't want to drink from them. We don't want to drink from them, from them, from them. So remove yourself. We don't want a friend from them. We don't want to drink from them. We don't want to drink from them, from them, from them. I'm telling you, man, your belly.
Here I come. Have you ever been somewhere when there is no one else around? And the only voice you hear is if you sing yourself a song. Would you like to be around when there is nothing else to see? On a mountain or green forest, as peaceful as can be. Talking about my homeland, Guyana's hinterland. A place of relaxation and pure meditation. Talking about my homeland, Guyana's hinterland, with its natural beauty, a place for anyone. Yeah. Do you ever think about our singing waterfalls, the beaches on our coastline, where the giant turtles are? Would you like to spend some time living naturally? Know the taste of splendid water.
Da 𝒐𝒐𝒂𝒊𝒒𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂 kuputeta da oyu amoka ba mata piasa kentrata marita harwa kudaha tomata piken tomata pi tomata piken tomata pi tomata piken tomata pi tomata piken tomata pi 𝒊𝒏𝒇𝒓 𝒂𝒃𝒄 wandaha 𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒂𝒂 𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒂 harwa kutaha 𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒂𝒂 𝒂𝒄𝒍𝒂𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒂 𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒂 𝒐𝒒𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒂 harwa kutaha 𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒂
We are the 9 nations of Amerindian people, preserving our nature, bringing you our culture, our way of life. Guyana we love, it's who we are. We are the Waiwai, Magushi Patamonda, Karib Arawa, Warao, Wapishana, Areguna Akawayo. This is heritage. We are the 9 nations of Amerindian people, preserving nature, bringing you our culture, showing our way of life. Guyana's what we love, it's who we are. We are the 9 nations of Amerindian people, preserving our nature, bringing you our culture, our way of life. Guyana we love, it's who we are. Guyana we love, it's who we are.
Good morning to all our viewers. Good morning to all those persons usually tuned into Livewire. Welcome down to another episode. It's a new week. It's the 4th of September as we roll along and celebrate Heritage Month. As persons would know, several activities held already. Um, just recently concluded at the National Park. There was a heritage cultural extravaganza which happened on the 1st, and they had 2 nights of arts and craft and also the culture nights which began at the Sophia Heritage Village. So those are some of the activities that happened already. The fitness walk would have happened on Sunday morning. The heritage dinner is scheduled for the night at Pegasus, and all the other activities that are happening for Amerindian Heritage Month 2023. You guys can find out on the Ministry of Amerindian Affairs Facebook page and keep yourself up to date in relation to all the activities on the cards for Heritage 2023. Morning to those persons tuned in already. I see we have Data Nandalal, Shakila. Morning to all those persons there in Essequibo, especially those persons down there at the RDC and the Town Council, making sure that the region is run efficiently and things are done in a timely manner over there in Region 3. So morning to the chairperson, the vice chair, the REO up there, and all the staff down there at the RDC, the mayor, and representative councillors to that area there as well. Morning to all the persons joining us from Bartica, the RDC reps up there as well, Mayor Anthony Murray, on the ground working very hard since he has been elected, and more so since he's taken his oath of office. He's been on the ground making sure that progress is happening in Bartica, roadworks are on the move, and things are looking up in that area. I like to encourage persons to share the live to your page, a friend's page, some group that you're in. Share the live so persons can get on board and have access to this information we're putting out here on the Livewire, and they can keep themselves up to date as well. So moving along, we had a very interesting weekend, and a lot of things happening. One of the things that persons have really gravitated to, His Excellency Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali would have commissioned the roundabout there in the Eccles area, as government continues to move towards connecting the East Coast and the East Bank, and creating more avenues, opening up lands for business, housing, and all these things that come with roads when they go through communities. So I'd like to take you to that roundabout and a short clip where His Excellency spoke about the roundabout and the vision of the government in relation to it. So let's have a look at that facility or that piece of infrastructure out there, and let's hear from His Excellency.
But infrastructural transformation alone cannot do what we need to do in terms of our self-belief, our belief in ourselves as Guyanese, and our belief in our country. One of the greatest things that we should do now as we build this new, modern, prosperous Guyana for all is to develop a sense of pride. And that is what we are doing in this government. A lot of this work that we are doing sometimes, the softer side of the work is not understood. But these facilities and the emphasis, the improving the look of Guyana, importantly, is to reignite that sense of pride that all of us must feel. Proud to be Guyanese, proud to be called Guyanese, and proud about what we can build here at home together. And tonight, this is one such facility that when one pass this roundabout, as you know it, but you will see, you will call it rotunda in English, but it is spelled differently, and in the Philippines it is called rotonde. And what that means is a circular junction where four roads connect. So this is that junction, one of the most important junctions that the next generation of Guyanese would live and see. This junction will connect the East Coast with the Ogle Bypass. It connects Georgetown with the Mandela Bypass. It connects Eccles and going back to the East Bank with the Eccles Bypass, and it connects where I'm standing here, the Peters Hall Bypass. Very importantly. So that is why that significant word is used to signify this circular, well, it's not totally circular, but what is known to be a roundabout, circular, but also bringing together four roads to a central point.
major area there in Eccles has been commissioned by His Excellency, and you can feel nothing but pride when you look at a piece of infrastructure like that. I mean, I haven't personally visited. I passed yesterday, but I didn't stop to actually visit. But just passing there, you feel an overwhelming sense of pride, and you're proud to be Guyanese when you see things like this and the transformation that is happening across the country. Persons cannot go back to what things used to be, especially 2015, 2020. Nobody wants to go back to that because we see where our country is heading. We see persons coming here because of the prudent planning by the government. Persons want to come back home and invest in the country. We have foreign persons want to come and invest here. Based on our oil or agriculture and all the other sectors, persons are coming to invest. So when government ensures that we have proper infrastructure, like the roundabout there at Eccles, it shows persons that people are actually interested in moving Guyana forward, not just looking out for those close to them. We see government putting infrastructure in place so all Guyanese can benefit. We see government putting systems in place so all Guyanese can benefit from whatever it is Guyana has to offer. Now I want to take you to another video. And I don't want you to think it's a video morning, but I want to take you to another video. So y'all know Zoe, travel with Zoe. There are lots of persons like Zoe who go around to different countries in the Caribbean, around the world, to see what life is like there. And recently, a gentleman, let me get his name correct for you guys. He did a video back in, I think it was 2016, when he was in Guyana. And he spoke about, you know, not knowing where to go, or not knowing where to go, but there was a fear to go out and do things around that time because of the high crime rate and that sort of thing. So this is 𝒐𝒊𝒔𝒄𝒍𝒂𝒊𝒎, and he's a world traveler and a YouTuber. And he was in Guyana in 2016. And he described Guyana in some really unflattering terms, and it became viral. So he came back to Guyana, and he's experiencing it under new management. So let's hear what this social media influencer and persons like this, people like this, paint an image for Guyana on the international stage. So it's important for governments to make sure that Guyana is in a mode where it doesn't present the wrong perception to persons visiting. Now, he compared 2016 to the current time, and there's a stark difference. Let's hear what he had to say. And hats off to Delvin Adams, the chef there at the Backyard, chef and owner at the Backyard Cafe. He has been promoting Guyana on the international stage, taking persons when they come to Guyana to local spots where they can enjoy real Guyanese cuisine and culture. Hats off to Stacey Rahman as well, who has been promoting Guyana for years now. But let's have a look at this video.
I'm 𝒐𝒊𝒔𝒄𝒍𝒂𝒊𝒎, and today I'm going to show you what $10 can get you in Guyana, the hidden country of South America.
You want to taste some pineapple?
Oh, that's good, man. We are entering the fish market.
Yo, right.
This is the street pharmacist.
This is crazy. This one is literally called Sex Tonic. What is going on?
We're going to be trying the Capadula tonic. But does it work, Auntie?
This is my second time to Guyana after a not so great experience back in 2016.
Kind of weird.
Back then, I found the country to be really dangerous, and honestly, I didn't know where to find any cool things going on. However, this time around, I'm back to give the country a second chance.
You always love you.
One love, one nation.
So let's see how the economy has changed since my last visit and what this means for all you budget travelers out there. Right now, our $10 challenge takes place in Georgetown, Guyana's busy capital city. $10 equals 2,000 Guyanese dollars. It's time to hit the streets and see what we can find. Where are we now? What's going on?
We are in Border Market. You're gonna love this, man. You want to taste some pineapple?
Yeah.
Good.
We're just surrounded by pineapples here in the market, and they're fresh. They're actually really small too.
All right, we got the pineapple that just peeled up, and she had a little bit of salt to it.
Okay,
and what
salt.
the salt does is open up the flavor, get all the juices flowing. So go ahead and taste that.
I've never had a salty pineapple, but it really works. Holy good, man.
Yeah, man. $2.
Thank you, Auntie.
Welcome.
I never even knew that salt on a pineapple was a thing, but it is so good. Got so many vegetables here. Eggplant, tomatoes, peppers, lettuce. This market here is full of the freshest fruit and vegetable you can imagine. Everything.
Try this. This is a part of the lychee family, right? You've never seen this? Well, then you'll get to taste this up.
Very gooey. Kind of sour. I don't know how to explain it. It's like a sour candy that's really gooey. Very good. We're entering the fish market.
We have some gray snapper right here. You had some trout right here. All the fish that you see here came from the ocean. And seafood is not as wide as it is in other countries. So we don't get lobster, clams, and stuff here, you know?
Two kind of fish you get here.
Just fish and shrimp. So these are the guys that clean me up real nice. We got Andy over there.
What's up, bro? How you doing?
Krabby, they make sure that quality, they pick out my fish, they get it cleaned up really nice. This here is a spinach, different to what you know it as. In Guyana, we call it 𝒕𝒉𝒊𝒂𝒊𝒆𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂 This is $1.50.
All right, what is this, bro?
The young lady just found out that you don't have any kids as yet. So what she's giving you is the 𝒄𝒑𝒂🊎 tonic.
What is this?
Makes your back stronger, it makes you work longer, all of that. So this is one of them.
So this is a pharmacy.
This is the street pharmacist.
This is crazy. So we have a whole street pharmacy. Everything is like from the nature, from the ground.
That's it.
There's no like pills, nothing.
There's no Viagra here. We have potent stuff, pure stuff, liquid.
All of these are for different purpose.
Different purpose.
This is amazing. This pharmacy is awesome.
Auntie, which one is the better one to try?
Same tonic.
So there's no cup, she put it in the bag for you. So this is your cup. Go ahead, Auntie. The cup is the bag. And what we do, we're gonna bore a little hole in the bottom.
I want them like this.
Oh,
No, you gotta bite a hole in the bottom.
bite a hole in the bottom. We got it this way. Check this.
All right, this is some mysterious liquid in a bag. It's like sugar and vinegar mixed in a bag. I don't know how my body's gonna take this, but it's interesting. How much per bag?
She just give us a sample.
Yes, I have.
There's a sample. She just give us
bottle.
that by the bottle.
How much is one bottle?
2,000 for the bottle.
$10.
2,000. That's $10.
You don't give it by sample? Like people can't just take.
No, she does do that for us because she heard you don't have any kids yet, so she want to prime you up.
Thank you.
But does it work? These guys are the couplers, man, and they get to take care of you. So if anything happened while you're on your trip, these guys take care of you.
That's the far right. It's really cool how they make the coconut. So they basically just grab it with a machete, chop it up, and they pour the juice inside of this water bottle, which funnels down, and they sell it. Thank you. Good job, man. Thank you. All right, let's try it. Woo! That is good. So refreshing. Oh my god. So sweet and fresh. Sometimes they taste sour, but this one's perfect. It tastes more just like sweet water. The other ones are sour, they're tart, and super good. It's super hot and sticky and humid outside, so I can't tell you how good this is. Behind me we have the American supermarket. Naturally, I have to go inside. Looks like they have some American products. Coca-Cola. Most of these products are not American, so it can't be American owned, or maybe it's American owned, but it's not imported from America. This is cool. You got the Red Bull Acai edition. Now we're talking. I don't even know if they sell that back home, but that is cool. It's always a fun experience to be in a foreign supermarket and see what they have. I'm going with this wafer thing. Strawberry wafer, can't be more than $1 or $2. Thank you. In total, I got a pineapple with salt, some local fish, some spinach at the market, a fresh coconut, and a wafer for $10.57. So now I'll ask you, would you come to Guyana? After visiting for a second time and making the most out of my US dollar, I highly recommend this country for people wanting to stray away from the already beaten path. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more epic stories from every country in the world, and I'll see you next week. If you enjoyed this video, please comment your thoughts down below.
So, despite Coretta McDonald posting on her page, it's $1,200 of Bora. This guy come to Guyana, he get pine, he get fish, he get callaloo, drink up the coconut water and all that stuff, and just over 2,000. Right? Foreigners are coming back to Guyana and enjoying their experience now, something that didn't happen in 2015 to 2020. High crime rate. Foreigners didn't feel safe to come and invest. No COVID plan, whatever, whatsoever. So foreigners weren't interested in coming here. And you heard it in the video, the man said it himself, he was here in 2016. And it wasn't a pretty experience. Scared to go on the road. But Sherrod and them and Rick Ford and Mark Benchcup, they're not going to tell you that. They're not going to play that video for you. They're going to tell overseas-based Guyanese and the rest of the world that Guyana is in such a terrible state. Nothing can happen in beer corruption, friends, family, and favorites. Education sector falling apart, we got no health facilities, you know. That's the narrative they're putting out there. But Drew contrasts his experience under a Granger-led administration and compared it to the PPP administration that is in right now. And we see the difference. We see the difference, right? I want to play one more video for you. I want to play one more video for you guys, but I got a caller cut off. But I want to play one more video for you and listen to how persons are talking about Guyana. Listen to how persons are talking about Guyana.
What would you say to the government in terms of putting more systems in place that can impact the lives of citizens?
Right. I would say do as much as you can to show the citizens that there is an impact. There are things happening, but maybe people don't see it all the time. There are new roads being built. There are new buildings going up. There's a lot happening in the infrastructure area, but there's a lot happening in the education and health areas as well. We've been happy to be a part of that. Mount Sinai is here helping Guyana develop a complete health infrastructure to improve the quality of healthcare. We have the company called Coursera here, a U.S. company, and they implement short-term educational programs, especially in the health area. So there's a lot happening. I would tell the person on the street to take advantage of those things, look more broadly to see how they can take part in this new day.
And what is important about that? I like the fact that the outgoing ambassador was sitting in front of Gordon grossly. And again, crickets from him because he can't refute what the ambassador has said. So he's asking her how government could make things better. And she's saying, based on what she's seeing, government making things better, we're seeing advancements in health, education, infrastructure. And she urged Guyanese to take advantage of those opportunities and not listen to Gordon grossly, who pretending nothing is happening around the country and misleading people. Anyway, we have a caller on the line. Morning, caller.
Oh, okay. Hello?
Yeah, go ahead. Morning.
Yeah. Well, I was about to say just now that remember Gordon grossly or Goatley is a member of FLAPNU, you know. It's FLAPNU mouthpiece, right? And according to FLAPNU, everything is doom and gloom in Guyana. What I think is a misrepresentation of the facts. I think everything is doom and gloom for FLAPNU.
Exactly.
Because if 217,000 persons would have voted for them in 2020, trust me, sir, if an election, a snap election is held now, they won't receive 217,000 votes. You know that, I know that.
Exactly.
Because the numbers has dwindled since 2020. And it continues to deplete by the day. You understand? For example, if you listen to the members of the opposition, I think these people deliberately try to insinuate these hopeless, fear-mongering narrative and rhetoric in public domain.
Indeed.
Right? There is no realistic base case. Now, if you listen to Coretta McDonald, that woman is mentally disturbed, sir.
I agree. Coretta ain't good. I agree.
Trust me. If a man who don't even live in Guyana, and I don't think he would have done that video, he would have mimicked that video. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
For me, when you look at that video, it's a genuine experience the young man had.
Indeed.
You understand? And another thing is, sir, you have Guyanese who, on a daily basis, denigrate, run down, cast down all the derogatory sentiments about Guyana. But if you measure what they would have accomplished, all that they would have accomplished thus far in their life is right in Guyana. So when you listen to these people, and you know what? You know what puzzles me? All right, you might get an opportunity to go to a country that has a better standard of living, that has a better salary base or wages base. Okay, it's an opportunity. Do like the Chinese. When China opened up to the world in 1979, the Americans capitalized on cheap labor. Throughout the 80s, the Chinese were exploited, but you know what? They were steadfast. You understand?
Yeah.
And what the Chinese did, the Chinese stole the patent, mass produced it, and this is why most countries in the third world today, as television is affordable.
Right.
When America was the leading manufacturer during the 80s, 70s, and 60s, very few people home in the third world countries were fortunate to own a TV. You know how TV works, how expensive TV was back in the days. You know that?
Yeah.
At courts, you could remember those sharp television, Toshiba, and that thing with the
Toshiba. Yeah. Big back.
You couldn't buy them TV cash.
Big back. And then once you have to hold and turn the channel.
You understand? So kudos to China, all those, I mean, I'm not shifting the discussion, but you know, at the same time, persons would want to attack the Chinese investment and all of that.
Right.
The Chinese. Remember Flapney? Flapney was the one who claimed in opposition that the Shilling don't pay tax to the Chinese, don't pay tax to the Chinese.
Yeah.
That is a policy. Chinese are among the entrepreneurs in this country that pay the most taxes. I am telling you that. If a Chinese man bring any container, he got to pay tax. And if the Chinese man declares $5, he goes, GRA might raise it to $10.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So if people claim that the Chinese won't pay tax, you know, it's amazing, sir. You know, there's some people doing business in this country, making money all the time and never pay one dime of tax in their life. And when they got to pay, let me give you a laugh. A girl came to the airport to declare herself. That was before the government. Recently they placed cell phone on the duty-free list.
Yeah.
Right? Good. So now there is no VAT or there is no duty on cell phone. It's totally free like computers. know, when I calculated the oil tax, well, I don't want to say that. But by the way, they offer to use a discretionary value because it was a personal, it's our personal phone, right? Or phone for our personal use. So the officers could use a discretionary value. You know how much the oil tax was? $3,000, and she had an issue to pay them.
Wow.
She had a problem paying them. You know why I saw an intention? I said, yo, if you went in New York and you went, man, say you paid $15, you pay it with a smile. So why you can't voluntarily pay your taxes, your share of taxes, which is not even the sufficient amount you're supposed to pay?
Yeah.
Right? How you want Guyana to develop? How you want good roads, schools, hospitals, and all these things? And most of these people are talking, even to correct them and tell them, I'm absolutely sure she don't pay her right share of taxes.
Well, we know. Hopefully, I can't remember if she submitted to the Integrity Commission as yet as well.
If you understand what I mean, let me go to the RT. I'm not denigrating anybody or stereotyping anybody. Let me just be factual. Most of the people who selling clothes in town don't pay the right share. You know that, I know that.
Indeed.
The barrel come in, sometimes the officer might mistakenly assess it as a personal effect on me. You know they got thing in there for them.
You're very true. Very true, very true, very true, very true. Very true. And not just clothes.
A man bringing a dog. He brought in a dog. He paid 300,000 Guyana dollars equivalent. It's 1,500 and something US. Just over 300,000 to bring the dog together.
Wow.
And when the officer accepts his dog, the value for the dog, and you have to pay $12,000, he had an issue to pay that money. I said, sorry, but in the white man, you pay $400 US. You know, you pay the smile. So why you can't respect your country of birth? Why you always have to appraise and upheld the successes of another man's land and denigrate and run down and tag down your own country?
It's like you're trying to shortchange Guyana.
Good. Some of them, they're living in New York. I used to hear telling you, excuse this part of the sentiment, right? You know, I live in New York, nigga. I drive a Mercedes-Benz in New York, nigga. But when the white guy is ready to kick you back to Guyana, nigga, you ain't got shit here, nigga. You remember, you're familiar with those sentiments, right?
But I hear them around the place. You understand?
Them, when the white man kick them out like a penalty shootout, they remember Guyana when they're on the plane. The childhood days. Or the early teens years in Guyana, right? My brother, Guyana is a blessed nation. Look the other day, I saw Air Finale open that fountain there store. You know when you would have seen those things in postcards,
right?
And magazines,
yeah.
Right. Now look what we having it in Guyana here now. We got Chaser roads you could drive on now.
Yeah. Yep.
Guyana is a work in progress, my brethren.
Yeah, indeed.
And it takes each and every Guyanese to catapult us to where we need to be or where we should be.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
It is unfolding. So what emanates from the opposition benches does not represent or reflect the true unfolding in Guyana currently. What the opposition is telling the world, I think, in code, is that their house is in a disarray right now.
Yeah.
And the doom and gloom is a part of Congress' place. And the entire opposition, because you can tell me you ain't got $2.5 million to hold a general council. Really? And the government don't give the opposition money every budget?
No, actually, it's the office of the opposition leader which gets a budgetary allocation. It doesn't go specifically to the PNC, to the office of the opposition leader.
Yes, that is understood. But you know and I know, we ain't got to be rocket scientists, though. If blank check now is not custom to sign admin or bullying people, to sign blank checks, me, you know. Because if the money is slated for the opposition, then the opposition leaders demand who got access to the money. Isn't that true?
You got access, but it isn't that easy to misappropriate government funds like that, funnel it to the party. So for him to do that, he'd have to pay for certain things through the office, and then got to find justification. I remember all them things can get audited, public office. So it's a little harder for him to do that.
And then again, according to these people, they have a huge support base, and if an election is held tomorrow, they would be.
Well, that's what I was just gonna say. I mean, they're soliciting funds in the U.S. from, according to the opposition leader, regular Guyanese, so that big business doesn't control what they do. So I don't know if they raise the funds yet. I know Sherrod collecting every month. Whether it's $1, $2, he collect it.
But if you look at the opposition leaders' audience in the U.S., it's a bunch of elder people.
Yeah, I've said that already last week. I've said those persons have experience to share, but who they share the experience with? They not no young people there that they guide. Now, it's persons just like them.
Something. If under the PNC was so good, why all of them migrate to the U.S. during the 80s? You know, most people left this country during the 70s and 80s.
Good point. Good point. Or even the bigger question to ask is,
stewardship was so good, so why they choose or would have chosen to migrate to the U.S.?
Or why they didn't come back 2015, 2020?
No, most of them come back 2015 or 2015. They came back for big jobs. You know, people living in the U.S. or they were residing in the U.S. and earning huge salaries over there.
What?
You didn't see the PPP made a disclosure when they came into office. One man, the guy what? Minister of Parks.
Yeah, well, he used to be in the country a little bit. I'm not a talk but guard mostly has some money to get it from GPL or something like that. I know that they talk about that.
So these people just splurge on the successes of the PPPC, because when the PPPC left office in 2015, our economy was about $3.8 billion with about $1.2 billion in sovereign debt, right? When Mr. Winston Jordan tried to inflate that figure to $1.6 billion, and Mr. Ashley Singh refuted by responding to him with the correct figure, the correct aggregated figure of the public external debt, right?
Yeah.
These people know about inflated numbers. You see, they try to inflate the number of the election there.
But
people know the epitome of FLACNU is over-exaggeration.
Yeah. Just like Christina, right? And the $1 million, everybody.
And the calculation never right. And these people, you know what's possible? Before 2015, the population was schooled constantly that the opposition had requisite skills and the knowledge thereof to manage Guyana prudently. They even called the ministers of the PPP back then fat cats. I don't know when they increased the salary.
Yeah.
Those people probably would have evolved into jaguars and leopards, or even the Siberian tiger. There's a big cat you're talking about it. Yes, sir? We had some mutation or something happen, some kind of biological, process unfolded so that these cats evolved from fat cat to fat big cat.
We see who the fat cats are now, but thank you for coming through and sharing with us.
Enjoy your day.
It's a pleasure.
I'm still waiting on your presence in Tigray. You come and visit the area, walk it through.
Here, you gotta remember they got a lot of stuff. We working on it. We're coming up that side, but I gotta coordinate with my managers and see the best time to go up there. But I did pass the message on to some of the staff that work with His Excellency, and they will work out with him when he gets time to visit that area. But I did pass the message on, letting the staff know to let him know. Persons in Tamiri want to meet him and see him.
Yes,
I did
man,
pass
because
that on.
before I go, I just highlighted some stuff. Got some issues in there with the road, the sand truck passing through this area, and the road is in a deplorable state. It's looking like a terrain right now.
Wow.
Right? Please come and pay us a visit if you want. I could take a few pictures and send it to you.
Send the photos to me so I could also pass them on to the public works people as well. So in the event that something can be done in the interim, they could get that started.
In a few minutes when I go out on the road here, I will take some pics and send it to you. But before I go, kudos to my Amerindian brothers and sisters. We celebrate with them.
Yes, indeed.
And it has been an extravagant start.
Yes.
In the Amerindian Heritage Month celebration.
Yes. Great work by the ministry getting that together.
Sorry to
No, man, it's all right. It's always good to hear from you. Thank you for coming through again this morning, and thank you for tuning in every morning. Take care.
Okay, good later.
Yeah, so coming back to the point, we have a host of internationally or foreigners who are rating the progress that they see in Guyana right now. Right? Whether it's from the Caribbean or the international area, everybody talking about Guyana. Everybody talking about Guyana. Last week I played a video of a Trinidadian politician abusing the Prime Minister because Guyana is outperforming them in the education sector. Abusey, slap you up virtually, all kind of thing. He was vexed. Now you see the outgoing ambassador who has been working with Guyana, talking about all the partnerships, all the investment that government has been making in the country, infrastructure, health, education, and people like Gordon Mosley spreading opposition propaganda, claiming nothing is going on. So when the president checked him at the GDF in Ghana compound there, when he asking the president foolishness about having the Americans broker talks between the opposition and the government, what nonsense is that, Gordon? We got to go to the States to get people to come and talk to President Ali. What foolishness you telling people or asking the president? He right to put you to your place. And that is why he can't respond. Because Gordon knows the opposition leader went to court to stop the consultation. Gordon knows that the opposition leader refused to shake Gordon Mosley's hand. And let me tell you something. I don't not too fond of Gordon Mosley. We're not enemies, but we're not friends. I would say that to you straight up. Me and Gordon Mosley are not friends. But if I see Gordon someplace or he see me someplace, you're still cordial. I think I remember it wasn't this year's Press Freedom Day, the year before. I even saw me and Gordon take a photo together. We're not friends. You understand? We're not friends. But just to show you, the opposition leader cannot put aside whatever personal issue he has to work for the betterment of Guyanese. Me and Gordon don't work together. You have no reason to work together. But I do believe, as persons in the same industry, there's a certain level of respect. I mean, I'm sure Gordon might disagree with some of the points I made. I disagree with most of the points Gordon makes. But you could be cordial to people. You can have a conversation with somebody, even though you don't agree with them. And that is what we don't see from the opposition leader. So it was important for me to play those two videos to y'all this morning, to hear how persons, non-Guyanese, how they view Guyana. And then you contrast Drew and Miss Lynch to a Sherrod Duncan, a Rickford Burr, a Christopher Jones, and a man's a Coretta. So these persons living in a different country to where these foreigners visit him? Is that what people trying to tell me? Is that what persons are trying to say? I think it's crazy. Then there's another thing I wanted to share with you, because Coretta and them were making a big thing about the extension of the commissioner's tenure, right? Let me share this with you. I don't know how many persons got to see it, but this will highlight the duplicity in the opposition, right? This will highlight the duplicity in the opposition. Now, if you all remember, Coretta and Paul Slow and Conway, they're always attacking the commission, the acting commissioner of police, right? And recently, the president would have extended his tenure to serve the Guyana people and the Guyana police force beyond his retirement age. And they are making a big deal about it, but they forget that when they were in office, they didn't even go through all the procedures that the president went through, right? Now, their core issue is they're alleging that there's a violation of Article 211, Chapter 1 of the Constitution, which stipulates the procedure for appointing the Commissioner of Police or someone to act in that office. According to the Constitution, it requires meaningful consultation between the President, the Leader of the Opposition, and the Chairman of the Public Service Commission, right? Persons know at the time of Mr. Higgins' appointment, two of the three offices that needed to be in the loop were vacant. But what is more shocking is that persons in the opposition, having access to somebody like 𝒄𝒐𝒑𝒚𝒓𝒊𝒈𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂 didn't know that they did not follow the same procedure with the appointment of Mr. Nigel Hoppy in 2020. Right? Now, I spoke about the Police Service Commission and the opposition, office of the opposition, leader of the opposition. Now, those posts were vacant during that time when the appointment was being looked at. The opposition even went to court to challenge the legality of the president's appointment, which was thrown out by the court. Because, one, you remember Aubrey, nobody didn't want Aubrey Norton when Joe Harmon had left the scene, resigned from Parliament. Nobody wanted Aubrey Norton. So there was that period there where you didn't have an opposition leader. The Police Service Commission is expired. So we were supposed to leave the Guyana Police Force without anybody to manage it, or a superintendent over the Guyana Police Force. And the selective application of the Constitution. The APNU speak about violating of Constitution, and they like to play this speaking out against violations. This here raises questions about the consistency and the commitment of political parties and individuals to upholding the constitutional principles. Because at only certain times, people on the opposition side notice Constitution being violated, and not with much evidence. But when they do even worse things, compare what the president did to the appointment of Mr. Hoppy, right? Who was consulted with the appointment of Mr. Hoppy? That is the question. Who was consulted? They like to play that they're the champions of constitutionality. These individuals associated with the APNU AFC have been vocal about legal issues concerning the police force, but have not addressed the alleged constitutional violations in this case here, especially this case we're talking here about Mr. Hoppy. This raises questions about their credibility and their motives as advocates of constitutional principles. And the broader issue here is the adherence to the rule of law and the constitution of Guyana's political and legal process. The president followed the constitution, President Ali. We don't see that in the opposition. We don't see that, or we didn't see that to the appointment of Mr. Hoppy. So, Corretto, y'all ease off, pause, so ease off the commissioner, man. Ease off the commissioner. I wanted to bring your attention now to another letter, because I've been seeing them a lot in the papers. And sometimes I don't think people pay much attention to these letters, but I think it gives perspective because they have valuable information from persons who have been around for some time, and they're able to articulate some of the two-facedness exhibited by persons in certain quarters. So if y'all check the 2nd of September, the Chronicle there, there's a letter from Dr. Randy Prasad, who is responding to a column written by J.H.K. Lal, where Lal expressed concerns about freedom of speech in Guyana. Right? Lal, J.H.K. Lal, who always abusing the government, always talking some mess, worried about freedom of speech in Guyana. Right? So in his letter, in his submission, Dr. Prasad argues that it is contradictory for J.H.K. Lal to express fear about freedom of speech in Guyana, while simultaneously writing and publishing articles without fear of reprisal. J.H.K. Lal always talking about corruption and government not doing this and the PVP and the J.H.K. Lal, who is gagging J.H.K. Lal? Dr. Prasad also mentions that individuals like J.H.K. Lal have significant control over widely circulated newspapers in Guyana. And he urged that there is no fear. He argues, that there's no fear when it comes to expressing anti-government views in these media outlets. So people like J.H.K. Lal, Glenn Lal, Sherrod Duncan, Melly Mel, all these people who abuse in government on a daily basis, just walk the place free. I see Gardner and Melly Mel in a photo. I think the being at Savannah I think Melly Mel is here. You understand? Many persons in the opposition, I'd call it opposition media, because they got certain entities, no matter what happens, you always hear is doom and gloom in Guyana. So certain opposition media outlets and their operatives are free to operate in the country. Nobody gags them. So take, for instance, certain people can't get into the leader of the opposition's press conference. As far as I know, I think it's still done virtually. So they're able to cut you or deny you access to ask questions to the opposition leader. But when you look at a press conference of the vice president or the president, right? Everybody's invited. Everybody get a chance on the mic. You ask how much questions you want. Right? So you see the difference. Dr. Prasad also went on to talk about media insurgents. He referred to some of the critics of the government as media insurgents and suggests that their aim is to undermine the legitimacy of the democratically elected government. He also points out that many of them are based in Canada and the US. So, like I said, Bort, Benchcop, David Hines, They don't live here. They don't contribute here. Other than they might spend a little money when they're visiting. But always got an opinion on what's happening here. Right? Always have an opinion on what's happening here. And usually it's an opinion that makes no sense at all. So you can get an opinion like black people shouldn't buy black pudding from Indian people. Right? Or you can get an opinion like break up and shut down Regent Street, broke up the place. Rickford Ward can't do that in the States. They throw him under the jail and then send him back home. Are you hearing Sherrod Duncan talking about installed government and that stupidness? Corrupting people's brain who are easily influenced with their nonsense to go and repeat that to somebody else. The only thing fishy, the only thing that was stink of fish about the 2020 elections is the APNU AFC. The only thing fishy about that elections is the APNU AFC and what they were doing in that area. During that elections. The only thing fishy. And I maintain that Valda Lawrence. Stink of fish where y'all did at that elections. Anyway, Dr. Prasad went on to talk about part-time workers. And Lal's dismissal of part-time workers' income was criticized by Dr. Prasad. He argues that Lal is out of touch with the economic realities faced by many working class people who rely on part-time jobs to support their families. Now remember, where was JHK Lal when 2,000 CSOs were dismissed by the opposition? Where's the article to talk about the impact that had on those communities in the hinterland? Where was JHK Lal when the sugar workers were dismissed and the sugar industry shut down? Thousands of people out of job. You understand? And by extension, tens of thousands of people who, depending on those thousands of people, they don't know, they have nothing to do. So the government comes in now, reopens the sugar industry, so they got cash flow back in these areas. In them same areas, let me look at Borby side, the New Amsterdam, Region 6, Region 5 side. So those men and women in the sugar industry gone back to work. So government realized, hey, shipping issue, COVID, flooding, whatever it is, persons unemployed. Let's put persons to work. Come up with a part-time job initiative to add to the income that coming from the one person who's working at the sugar industry. So now you got either a mother or a daughter or somebody who is of age having an additional income coming into that home to make life a little easier for those persons. And people like GHK Lal have a problem with that. What was in place for persons who were unemployed in the coalition? Planting chip, cassava chip, cook-up, and that kind of thing. That was the plan. Not to create some kind of employment through government. Because as you remember, the former president said it's not government's job to employ people. After promising jobs to the young people on the campaign trail pre-2015. So it's not the government's job to find work for young people. But now when the Irfan Ali-led government finds things for persons to do, to have some more money circulating, it's an issue for those persons to help take care of their family, or government to give them a way to better take care of their family. Now, Dr. Prasad mentions that Guyana is experiencing a tight labor market, which has led to higher wages. He challenges Lal to find a construction worker willing to work for less than a certain daily wage, right? So you can't find persons to work for less than $5,000-6,000 a day in certain construction sites, especially if they're a skilled worker, a mason or a carpenter or something. Not just a labor, and even laborers now. I don't think they're working for less than $5,000 a day. So what exactly is GHKLAL trying to put out there? We heard the Vice President talk about the fact that we don't have people to fill all the jobs that are coming on stream. So the requirement for heavy duty operators, skilled workers to the oil and gas, workers to the construction sector, people leaving agriculture and going to other areas. So even persons who own farms find it hard to find laborers to work on those farms because people got mobility, as the Vice President would have put it. You got people leaving public sector and going to private, leaving ministries and going to work in oil and gas. I mean, people like GHKLAL, I mean, they need to have a seat and let Guyana breathe and move forward. Now, Dr. Prasad suggests that Guyana has seen economic progress, and indeed, without a doubt, with a significant rise in per capita income since 2019. He attributes these positive changes to the current government, the current PDP-C government. Dr. Prasad also expressed concerns about the return of an APNU or an APNU AFC group to high office in Guyana, and argues that these parties made detrimental decisions in the past, including signing that bad oil deal and attempting to steal the elections. Dr. Prasad also highlights GHKLAL's apparent change in perspective from supporting Granger to being critical of the government. He attributes this shift to the events surrounding the March 2nd, 2020 regional general elections and Granger's actions thereafter. So this is an interesting read. You guys please check it out in the Chronicle. This is in the second. And there also had an article, a column, Freddie's column on the second. You guys can take a look at that as well. As we're coming down to wrap-up time, I would like to share with you, like I said, a lot of things were happening this weekend. There was a national cleanup across the country where persons came out and tried to clean up the mess that we as Guyanese make. You know, so they had various agencies coming out to various locations to put hands together, members of cabinet, His Excellency the Prime Minister, all coming out to put hands to clean up Guyana and make Guyana look beautiful. You know, we have persons coming to our country, so we want to change the aesthetics, change the norm, beautify the place. You have Minister of Agriculture here doing some planting. He was in the Berbice area. Some of the members of the team who were there working very hard. I see Member of Parliament Jaffer Ali there as well, taking part in the cleanup. Here we have Minister Zulfikar again doing some work up there. Minister Ramson, he and his team, they were at the seawalls area. They are doing some cleaning. The Guyana Defense Force, they were out in their numbers as well around the city doing cleaning up and stuff like that. Minister Sukai and members from the ministry or staff from the Ministry of Armenian Affairs, they were also on the ground doing some work. And it's a good look for Guyana. We're moving, we're going places, and we're moving away from the old-fashioned things that we're accustomed to. You understand? So I heard yesterday, whilst I was looking at oh boy, what was it? The reality check with Quincy Anderson. Leonard Schumann, who was a guest, talking about this culture we have of Guyanese that throwing things through the window, and you got to change that, you know? You got to change that. Minister Vikram Bharat out there as well, Minister of Natural Resources. So a lot of persons came out to do some work. I got a call, but we close to wrap-up time. I don't know if I take this call. Let's hear what they have to say. Carl, good morning.
Hi, good morning, Courdel.
Morning, yes. Yeah, listen to me. Listen to me. Now listen to the TV.
Yeah. I want to hear some insight on the cleanup campaign, right? You remember Joe Biden? The only thing that I agree with Joe Biden is when he said that America going to plant back 1 billion trees. Just to help the atmosphere of the war. And you know what Barrett has said? They're going to grade down they're going to pull up all the pits and things in all over the country and land, then they pull back all the pits and they're going to plant back the trees. That's the only people of this planet. You see this planet apart. The planet this, but this planet apart. All right, I don't let that happen.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for coming through. Yeah, so, it's all a part of the plan to make Guyana green. Well, not make Guyana green again. We're green already, but maintaining the green in Guyana, right? And you know who wasn't out there? You know who wasn't out there this weekend? So look, let me show you. That's our president. This is our chief of staff. This is our commissioner of police. You understand me? This is our minister of Home Affairs and our Minister of Public Service. I think I showed you Minister Barrett out there. Look, this is our Minister of Finance out there. You know who wasn't out there? Not a boy from the opposition. Not a boy. Now tell me, cleaning up the city, they can't be bipartisan about that. Whose responsibility it is in relation to garbage collection and maintaining the city of Georgetown? Right? So you would have had PBPC councillors out there helping to clean, but you're not going to see no councillors from the PNC side. You're going to see the mayor out there. You're going to see opposition leader Aubrey Norton out there coming to help do anything. Right? You're not going to see them because this is something that will make Guyana look good and by extension the government if the place clean. So they're not going to help with that. They're not interested in that. Keeping Georgetown clean. Their interest is in keeping the garbage in the drain so people here could flood so they could blame the government and not blame City Hall, who's not taking care of its responsibilities. Right? So, drivers, before I go, I'd like to thank everybody for tuning into the program. I'd like to remind the drivers out there, school has reopened, and please look out for those kids on the road. Look out for those children on the roadways. They are going to school. They're back out in their numbers. Please take your time on the road. Take your time on the road. I don't see what's the rush with all the vehicles here in Guyana right now. You can't speed. We got too much vehicles. Take your time. Minibus operators, stop using the lane that is not a lane to get up to the front. I mean, sometimes y'all don't know if anybody crossing and think they're stepping into a clear path and might walk into the line of a vehicle. So y'all stay in your lanes. Don't use the motorcycle or the bicycle lane. Don't use the little section they got for people to walk on. Y'all stop driving on the people sidewalks that they just built. Oh my gosh, West Side, West Bank, opposite West Dem Secondary School. The people who got the blue snacket. Y'all stop having people park on the walkway that the people just built for pedestrians. Jesus Christ, man. Sometimes it's so upsetting. I went to the boulevard the other day. They done broken up the tables there. Oh, shucks, buddy. We can't got little nice things, man. We can't got little nice things, man. Some of these new roads that build, the concrete roads in some of these communities, people still dumping the sand and the stone on the road there. When the road start to wash, government do stupidness. They get a friend and family a contract. Low quality work. That's the first thing people can holler. But you're looking at you as a resident in the area, broken up the place. You want to park your car on the walkway that the people build on the side of the road for pedestrians. Y'all for real? We got to do better as Guyanese. We got to do better as Guyanese. And the sad part about it is that even if you try to pull up some of these people, you might be causing yourself some unnecessary stress. Because they're going to have people who want to abuse you for them doing the wrong thing. That's the sad part about it. They can blame you for not minding your business. But you looking out for you as a citizen. Now, you government put things in place so you can be more comfortable. Now, a worry is coming to block it up so you can't benefit from it. Come on, people. We got to do better. We got to do better. Good morning to the councillors there now at City Hall. I hope you all have a productive week there and get some stuff done in the interest of moving Georgetown forward. Again, I'm asking persons to take your time on the road. Look out for those school children who are heading back out to school today. I know some of their mothers are really happy. The house can be a little quiet until about 4 o'clock today. So it was nice being here with you this morning. Remember, Heritage is still on. You can pass at the Heritage Village there this evening for their cultural show and arts and craft that they have on sale there. Hats off to the Dream Team doing their distribution there again in North Sophia. It's not like this. Look at this man's face, boy. Hey, look at this one. Look. Oh my goodness. Nothing like the Dream Team. Those children are so happy to see us when we came into North Sophia. We did one at the Diamond Grove tarmac there with the Diamond Grove Care and Support Foundation. We also had one in Lilliandale. We also had one in Block R, Sophia. So continue the good work, team. Continue the good work and giving back and doing what the Dream Team does best. Show persons that your government working and people are looking, Guyanese are looking out for Guyanese. Right? We're doing more than the MPs who getting them big salary on the opposition side. Because we've seen the ministers and so forth going out and contributing to ensure that because we care, share it out, still share out bags and books and making sure kids get out to school properly. Right? Anyway, that's all the time I have for today. Thank you for tuning in. Shout out to our sponsor, 𝒖𝒔𝒄𝒍𝒂𝒊𝒆𝒑 Security Service. Remember, you're secure with 𝒖𝒔𝒄𝒍𝒂𝒊𝒆𝒑. And also, they like persons to know in these new schemes that they're building. If you guys are looking for security, contact 𝒖𝒔𝒄𝒍𝒂𝒊𝒆𝒑, and they're willing to come into that community, do an assessment of the area, and provide security for the entire community. The entire community, right? So that's a service that they're offering as well. Everybody in the community, you can come together and get the service so that you have patrols, you got cameras, you got HUTs, you got control access to the area. So that's something you guys can check out. That's all the time I have for today. Thank you for tuning in. See you right here, same time, same place, tomorrow on the 5th of September as we continue in Heritage Month 2023. Until tomorrow, peace, love, one Guyana.
Caution them. Make it an anthem. Land of Guyana, of rivers and plains. I'm a real Guyanese. From the time when I step on the scene to the moment I leave, I'm a real Guyanese.